So what are the toughest parts of being an entrepreneur for you?
Trying not to overdo it.
So what does that look like? Like, I mean, how do you...
I would say 5 years ago, I would, before I even got out of bed, would grab my phone and scroll through it to check Twitter, to check Facebook, to see if there's anything I needed to respond to, if there's anything going on. And then my husband and I both would be on our phones, sitting there watching TV, not talking to each other, responding to things on social media. And it may have been for Florida Swim Network, it may have been for FL BlogCon, it may have been for me as Bess Auer, a blogger.
That couple we see at the restaurant,
yes.
who's both on their phone.
Yes, so that was us, but we've actually really tried to cut back on that because we thought this is not healthy. So now I no longer check my phone first thing. I roll out of bed, I eat breakfast, I do a combination of yoga and Pilates for about a half hour before I then sit down and open my MacBook for the first time.
Yeah.
And then during the day, I will take breaks, which was unheard of. I used to think, no, I'll miss something. That FOMO, fear of missing out, you learn that you don't miss out.
FOMO. Love that. Fear of missing out, like, right?
You find out that you're not really missing out by putting those boundaries up. And then when my husband gets home at night, we take the dog for a walk and just spend time talking about our day.
Shut it off.
Shut it off. And then I shut my phone off at night. I don't tweet after a certain time.
So what's the difference? How does...
I thought that I would be not only missing out, but I thought it would decrease my productivity, and it really doesn't. It makes me much more focused for the time that I'm doing it. And so I found that I'm actually probably even more productive. So I have a list that I have hanging up, that I have my day's list of what I need to get done. And as soon as I start getting sucked into BuzzFeed or something else, I'll get back on that list and want to cross it off. So I think it's made me more productive by reducing the time I spend on it. Entrepreneurs seem to think, and I hear this a lot, I'm sure you do, that if you're not in it 110%, you're not wanting it bad enough. So with Florida Swim Network, we do a lot of podcasting with a lot of the coaches. And we've got a coach in South Florida named Gianluca that is from Italy. And so one of the questions we asked him, what's the difference between coaching in Italy and coaching here in Florida? And he said, Americans work too hard. They think by working harder, they're going to get ahead, and they don't. And we were kind of like, is he talking about us?
Well, it's like as an athlete, like we understood that there was this piece that rest did after you worked hard for the muscles in the body.
Right.
But it's like this obsession and then the voice in your head, right? And then looking around and seeing our culture that is almost 24/7, always on.
Yeah.
As an athlete, right, we were always taught that rest had to come after, that there was something that was going to happen to the muscles and for the long-term success, and you kind of understood that. In our culture right now, and also in the startup entrepreneurial culture, it's like this message. Arianna Huffington, she wrote Thrive, and she talks about collapsing and exhaustion and hitting her head, and about the importance of sleep.
Yes.
Right, like sleep. So do you have other disciplines? So you've started to create boundaries with your technology, times you're not doing it. Anything else that you're doing that's like adding to your happiness with the life of a multi-serial entrepreneur?
Learning to incorporate others into what I'm doing. My husband and I do Florida Swim Network, but we've been able to incorporate several good friends that help us out, either by volunteering to help us out at meets, or some of the swim coaches, will help us out, and allowing them to help us out. So that's been, allowing them to help. And, with Florida Blogging Conference, they say it's mine, but actually I've got this incredible planning team that stepped in starting the second year. And so they have added to my happiness, one, because they light my workload, but two, they offer this great friendship and support. Yeah. And so just feeling that support of other people, it's a big deal.